Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Team Via's new associate training. My name is Jenna Marzullo, and I see we have people jumping on. It's just 10:30, so I think we'll give everybody about another minute. If you guys would do me a favor and there's a little place for questions, and just let me know if you can hear me okay. I always like to test the audio. You could just type, yes, we can hear you, loud and clear. Always like to check before I really get on a roll here to make sure everyone can hear me nice and clear. So if someone would do me that favor, I would really, oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. One of my biggest fears on these webinars is I'm just going to talk for an hour and something's wrong with my audio. So I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start right on the dot so I can respect your time. Again, my name is Jenna Marzullo, Platinum Partner with Viridian Energy. Today is very exciting. We are almost at the last day of March. So, today is Saturday, March 30th. And what an exciting time in Viridian's history. I mean, all of you who are currently associates, we got some unbelievably exciting news this week. That starting April 1st, which is Monday, company-wide, all associates are getting their fast start clocks reset. So we could take part in the new sustainable compensation plan. So that means every single person in the company, regardless of when you started, gets the chance to earn those bonuses again. So this is a huge time in our company, switching over our software and upgrading it, our compensation plan and upgrading it. And I couldn't be more excited to bring you guys, the foundation of this business. So as you know, it's really important to get started correctly in this business. It's similar to a franchise. And so, I love to do these trainings for the brand new associates. I love that beginning phase when everything is exciting, when you're just starting. So I want to thank everyone on the phone this morning. I kind of tallied up the numbers, and over the past couple of weeks, we've actually had well over 150 people trained through these webinars. So I love doing them. We'll continue them weekly. There's a couple weeks I won't be able to do them, but I have figured out how to record them. So any week that they're not live, I'll make sure that there's a recording accessible to be able to do that. So again, Jenna Marzullo, Platinum Partner. For those of you that don't know me, I am from Connecticut, and I do have the honor of being Viridian's very first associate. So I say that humbly. I say that with a lot of pride too, because it's been an amazing journey that has transformed my life and transformed the lives of the people around me that I care about and love. And so, I sit here today with a huge smile on my face, knowing that this could be the beginning for a lot of you on the phone this morning, the beginning of something new, the beginning of something incredible that you never even dreamed of. So, whether you're joining us and it's your first day, or whether you've been in it for a while and you're brushing up your skill set, we're happy to have you here, and I'm super happy to have you here. So let's just go ahead and dive in here. So I like to do these trainings when someone first signs up. So if I personally sponsor them, then I sit down as soon as possible, preferably within the first 24 to 48 hours in person. If you have to do it over the phone, if someone's in a different state than you are, that's okay. We have things called like Skype. We have things, just like these webinars, and we have the phone. So, make that commitment to yourself that you're going to go through this training. But everything I'm showing you, none of it's coming from my brain because people can't duplicate what I know with Viridian. I've been here since day one, and I can't possibly pass that on to people, nor would I want to, because they couldn't do the same thing. So everything I teach to you today comes out of our resource kit, which is something that every new associate with Viridian gets when they enroll, and it usually takes, a couple, 3 to 5 business days to receive. I know they've been a little bit slow because they're relatively new. We just launched these this year, and we had an influx of associates coming into the business. So don't worry if you don't have yours yet. You can still start your business. And if you are a current associate and have a small team, I bought a 10-pack of these so that when I sign someone up onto my team, I can give it to them that day, and then they just replace it when they get there. So that's a great strategy to be able to get your people started quickly. That's what this business is all about. We want to start people quickly. So all new associates will receive a kit, which is why we teach from this, because you want to make sure that everybody has access to the same tools, and that's what you're teaching through. So First things first, let's go ahead. So the first thing you want to do, if you're brand new, there's a couple of things within 24 to 48 hours that you want to focus on. And again, this checklist is in your resource kit. If you do have our business builder kit, which is available online, then you can go ahead and have this checklist as well. So within 24 to 48 hours, you want to set up an appointment with your sponsor. Just like we talked about. A lot of this stuff I'm going to go over today is wonderful, but it's more powerful when you can sit down and share it with either your sponsor, or it might just be a coach that you're working with or a mentor. We don't always work with the person that brought us in for whatever reason, but I urge you, if you don't have that connection with someone, is go to your sponsor or start going up to your up team to find someone to work with, someone who will be invested in your success so that you could book one of these appointments. You might hear some of the same things, but it's going to be a lot more personal, and that's what we need to do. We need to share this stuff. So set up your Payoneer account, get certified through Veridian University so you can sign up customers. Sign yourself up as a customer. First and foremost, do not wait. As soon as you do that, in our new comp plan, you sign yourself up as a customer and one more person, and you have a $50 bonus right away. I mean, I signed up myself and somebody else in the first hour I did Veridian. So, we didn't have that comp plan back then, but what a great story to be able to make some money back right away. Make a list and have a calendar. When you go to meet with your up team, or if you're going to really be starting Veridian seriously, you need a calendar to keep appointments. A lot of people have worked in traditional businesses before, so it's not always necessary. I mean, you go to work at 9, you leave at 5. You don't need a calendar, but this is your own business, so you're going to be managing your time a little bit differently. So whether it's a virtual calendar on your phone, a Google Calendar, I actually use just a regular kind of old-fashioned paper, calendar with all kinds of notes in it, because it works for me. So you just got to find what works for you. There's a new associate welcome call, and that's something that you're going to want to dial into. And it's Bob Ulrich, our VP of Leadership Development, and it's great. It's just something that you want to hear, a couple of tips, a couple of things from him, a nice introduction. So there's kind of your quick hit list for your 24 to 48 hours. And then we're going to go ahead and move to, staying connected. I think that this is huge, not just when you're new, but throughout the entire career of your Veridian business. But I just want to point out how important these things are. As much as we are independent business associates, we are in a partnership with corporate. We're in a partnership with our team. And so you need to stay connected. Things happen quickly in this business. Things get released. And if you're on these calls and reading these emails, you will not be left out. The only reason you wouldn't know something is because you're not reading emails or getting on weekly calls. Other than that, everything is available for everyone. So we have a V-Talk, if you look at the screen, which comes out weekly from corporate. Comes out on Fridays. So you're going to want to look for that email and read every single ounce of it. Click on the hyperlinks. A lot of times it'll start an article and take you somewhere else. This is the primary way corporate communicates with us about rates, about changes to the comp plan, about back office, upgrades, about new events, about anything you can imagine, compliance, every aspect of our business. That's how corporate is communicating to us. So if you're brand new, look for it on Fridays. If for some reason you're not receiving it, just go in your back office and make sure you have the right email listed there. The list comes out monthly. It's our recognition email. It's amazing. The stories, you get to know the people. And in general, any emails from Veridian, those are really a must, and they do not bombard you. I mean, if I get one, maybe 2 emails a week from corporate, that's, a pretty regular week. So it's not difficult to keep up on. Our corporate calendar in the back office, there's a place for it. There's also, you can find it through Live Veridian. If you don't know how to find it, just ask your sponsor. It's real easy, and it will always have all the events, whether they're, team-based events, state by state, bigger corporate events, and so that's how you find out about events. Again, this is a self-motivated business. As a good coach, your coach is going to tell you how to find something. If you call and say, hey, what's the address of that meeting in, Springfield, Massachusetts? Well, I want you to go to the corporate calendar, and all the information is right there. So, we want to promote empowerment, and I want you to know where I get the information. I don't just have some big, file cabinet in my brain called Veridian that I remember every detail. I just know where the tools are. So the next thing is our weekly power call. This is just critical to business building. I mean, this is run by kind of the field and corporate. Corporate's always on it. Once in a while, Michael's on it, Bob Ulrich, Meredith Burkett, Cami Bamey. And also you're going to get to know the top field leaders on these calls and inspirational stories. So there's training components, inspiration components. Here it is live, 9:30 every Monday. And again, these playbacks and all the information in your VTalk, they send it out. They send a reminder on Mondays about the weekly power call. So just make sure that you're on those, and if you can't be on them live, listen to the replay. Just carve out 30 minutes in your schedule. It's kind of a must for anyone in this business that is going to make a little bit of residual income, is to jump on these calls to learn about the company and the industry that you're in. And then we have our field events, which is, whatever team you're part of. I know there's many teams out there. I know we get people on these webinars from all states, so I'm not going to leave anybody out. So I'm not going to start listing the teams. I'm just going to tell you my team's called Team VIA, Vision in Action. And you can get on the email list. If you've found your way to this webinar, most likely someone forwarded you it, or you're on my list already. But find out who the team is in your area, or who your up team is, and what kind of events they're doing. Do they have a newsletter? Do they have training calls? I mean, on my newsletter, I list about 10 training calls that the field does. Almost every night of the week, you can find somebody, one of the top leaders, doing a field call. Or I know in the mornings, Bob Q and Joe O and Frank do calls. In the evenings, Johnny Lepresto, Bob Maneve, Joel Britt. I mean, I could go on, and the Kennys, everybody does field training calls. There's Facebook pages and webinars just like this. So, find out again from your sponsor or the person that brought you in or who you're working with is what team events are in the area. How can I get connected like that? And that's a great way to stay connected. And now we're just going to jump into our duplicate process, which is our 8-step program. Similar again to a franchise. This is your 8 steps to success. And we call it duplicate because you do these over and over and over and over again throughout the course of your Veridian career. Network marketing, if you've never been in it before, it's not a difficult industry. It requires you to learn a few skills and do them well over and over and over again. It's not like becoming a doctor or a lawyer or, someone in a service-based career who has to go to school and learn all these things. I mean, we're being asked to learn a couple of basic skills, time management, putting appointments in a calendar, learning how to follow up properly. And we're doing those over and over again. And so I get excited at that you can get paid for doing a few simple things over and over and then teaching other people how to do them. That's how you get paid in this business. And so anything I teach is always through our system, and everyone has access to this. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel, and it's wonderful. So the first step, and I'm going to focus today mostly on the action steps. The first 3 steps are something that, again, this is why I want you to sit with your sponsor or your coach, because they're going to go through these, and they're going to help make sure that they understand why you're doing Veridian, so that they can remind you of that when there's a tough day. They're going to help you maybe build a vision board or put your why on a note card so you can, carry it around with you. One of my wonderful teammates, Marie Jandro, was kind enough to take pictures of her vision board at home and put these up. And what great, what great why, why is she doing this? So that she can have all of these things. She can do philanthropy. She can, there's all kinds of things on here. So freedom, success, all the things she can have and be. And that's really important that you define that early on in your Veridian business. It's not a warm and fuzzy thing like, oh, we think you should know why. It really is something that you have to have a purpose here. Because, again, we don't go to an office. You don't have a boss who's standing over you saying, you didn't put in your full, 8 hours today. What happened? And, I didn't get that report on my desk. And there's no one regulating that. I mean, this is a self-motivated, kind of career that you have to find a motivation somewhere deep inside of you that's going to there's going to be nights when you aren't going to be able to watch your favorite show because there's a conference call, or there's going to be a week when, maybe there's something going on and you have to set your priorities and go to a meeting. And, these are all things that no one's going to force you to do. But if you want to do well in this business, then, it's worth giving it your all. It's worth, giving it your all. Yeah. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. So what's most important to you? And consider the different areas in your life. Is it family, occupation? Are there things you want to do recreationally, travel? Are you motivated by helping other people? It helps to say, a lot of people say, well, what's your goal? Well, my goal is to make, $5,000 a month. Great. What would the money do for you? Well, I could do this, I could do that. So you really want to take someone deeper, and if this is you going through your why, you really want to dig a little bit deeper into this for an emotional reason. Emotions motivate us to act. So when you can connect your purpose in Veridian to something emotional for you, it'll help you take action. So make it emotional, sit with somebody, tell somebody, tell your family, tell your up team, what is your why? They need to know that so that they can help coach you. Because there's going to be days when you're like, I really don't care what my why is. I don't feel like doing this. And you want somebody who's going to kind of bring you back to that. So the next thing is setting goals and making commitments. And again, this is where your calendar comes in so that you can make sure to carve out time for your Veridian business. Everyone has busy lives. I mean, some of the most busiest people do the best in this business because they have to learn, they've already learned how to manage their time. So get a calendar. What are you looking to earn here? What are those first couple of goals that you have, and in what time frame? So you have to be willing to share with your sponsor or up team, what are you looking to get out of Veridian? And we've put some pictures of some different average monthly incomes of the different ranks over here to help you maybe decide. And then what are you willing to commit to get that? Do you have an hour a day that you could commit to your Veridian business? Do you have 2 hours a day? You have to take a look at that and be real serious and realistic about the time. If you don't have a calendar, if you don't have set goals, if you don't have a why written down, I say this, but it's true. You don't have a business. You have a hobby. Oh, yeah, I'll dabble in Veridian, and this week maybe I'll call somebody, and and that's fine. No one's saying you can't do that. But if you're telling your coach, I want to be a director in 90 days, and you're, not really doing any of these steps, that's not realistic. And if I was your coach, I would say it's okay that you only have a half hour a day, and or you're not really willing to commit to a time frame. You'll just do Veridian when you want to do it. But please know that that's going to be a difficult goal for you to hit, and very unlikely that you're going to hit it. So be realistic. I've set some SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable. And so I want to just challenge those out there that are brand new. And even if you're not brand new, this is stuff that you can commit to the next 30 days of taking action. So we just came out with something called a Fusion Track for a Fast Start bonus, which if you get 16 customers in 30 days, there are big, huge bonuses on the table for you. And so I recommend to all my new associates that they make it a goal to get those 16 customers in their 30 days. And also hit the rank of consultant. Now we will be going through what that means, so don't worry if you don't know what that means. And also, just so you know, there are all the webinars on the compensation plan are available in your back office. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about and you're saying, what's a Fusion Track, and oh gosh, what's this, and it's okay, don't be overwhelmed if you're brand new. Just know that there are recordings, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, little webinars that are pre-recorded in your back office that explains each one of these things. So don't feel like you're lost. You will get it, even if you have to watch a video a couple times. So we'll go through what those are, but I think it's really important in this industry and business to get off to a fast start. And so that's what we recommend. This is really going to be your power player kind of goal. This is somebody who's going to come in and say, yeah, I want that. I want director. I want an extra $500 a month. Or, yeah, I'm in this thing. I'm committed to this. And I really, this is possible. I mean, people have been getting, 16 customers in 2 weeks, a week. I mean, I got my first 15 in, it was about 13 days. And then I got another 5 in about 20 days. So I know it's possible, and I've seen it over the years, over and over and over and over again, people hitting these. And so don't, this is extremely attainable, and it creates a great story for you when you go to help people. And then reaching the rank of consultant in 30 days does a lot of different things, helps open up the compensation plan. It's the building block rank of our business. And so if you can hit that rank of consultant, if you got 16 customers in 30 days and hit the rank of consultant and then just taught everybody on your team to do the same thing, if you did that consistently, committed to those basic steps over and over and over again for the course of 3 to 5 years, I can say with complete confidence you will be extremely successful in this, and you will be a top leader in our company. This is a very basic set of skills done over and over and over again. If you can get 5 customers, you should be able to get 50, right? You know how to get a customer. It's just most people stop because they get discouraged. Somebody tells them no. They let life get in the way and they don't make phone calls. It's not because they can't get a customer. If you get 2 customers or 5 customers, you can get 50, right? I mean, you know how to do the basic skill. If you sign up 1 associate in your business, 1 teammate, you know how to sign up 20. It's the same thing over and over, but most people let their emotions get in the way. They get discouraged. They think, oh, it's me. I'm saying something wrong. And that's what stops them from experiencing success in this business. But it doesn't have to. So, again, keep that in mind. It's the same things over and over again. And then, I always coach and train. Oh, and before I just want to mention this. Take a look down here. These are the page numbers. I've even put the page numbers from the resource kit so that you can see that I am not just, making this stuff up. This isn't just Jenna's land that I've created somewhere. I mean, this is pages 6 and 7. So if you're thinking, I could never train somebody on this, she knows so much and she's been doing this for 3 years, and how can I? These same exact things are in a book that if you read the pages, you could do. So I'm just bringing it to life for you and infusing some personality and some tips. But these are all available to you, all these information. So, I recommend to my associate, if they're serious about this business, they attend 1 live meeting per week. There's plenty of them in all different areas, all different markets and states. Check the corporate calendar of events for what meeting is, either closest to you or you're curious about, or, whatever it is, commit to that 1 live. We're talking about 1 night a week. If I told you had a part-time job that was 1 night a week over the course of 3 years, that you could build up a residual income of hundreds or thousands of dollars a month, yeah, it's worth 1 night. Training calls like this, webinars, power call that we talked about on Monday nights from corporate, your field calls, 1 of those a week at least. Now, some people do them all, and again, that's just going to get you to your goal faster. Some people have more time. Some people make it more of a priority, but at least 1. A personal show the plan, which you'll find out what that means, but it's basically showing the business opportunity to at least 1 person a week. That's minimum. Really it should be about 3 appointments a week, 3 to 5 appointments to show the video, to really, really be on that fast track. Viridian corporate events, which are really important. Anytime there's a corporate event, you're going to want to get there so you can learn our corporate culture, network with all different kinds of people. Those are critical. Those are critical for you to get to, and we'll talk about some of those events a little bit later. And then personal growth and development is a huge part of this industry. Again, it could be about direct selling. It might be about becoming a better person, because we're in a leadership business where once you do those certain things that we talked about, your goal is to help others do those things. Now, I came into this business 3.5 years ago. I have about 75 personal customers that I brought in 3.5 years. I have about 230,000 customers in my organization because very early on I recognized the importance of leadership and, really duplicating my time, that I could never, ever have gone out and gotten that many personal customers. So I've leveraged my time to train other people how to do that, but, you know, there's some personal growth necessary. Am I a positive person? Do people want to be around me? You know, can I manage my time effectively? You know, there's all kinds of things that, you know, when you want more in life, you have to become more. When you want more in life, you have to become more. And so, you know, 10 pages a day, 30 minutes a day, ask your leaders, what are they reading? What are they listening to? You know, ask people you admire. It doesn't just have to be in Veridian. Ask people you admire in your life. What have you read? What books have impacted you? What CDs? What, you know, it's really important. There's a couple books I'll recommend, and one is Beach Money by Jordan Adler. It's a great starter book in your first month to read. It's quick. It's not much more than 120 or 40 pages, so you could really get through it in about 2 weeks if you read your 10 pages a day. And then I just picked up a book. I got an advanced copy of it, and so I just emailed the author to find out when it's going to be available, but it should be available really soon, if not already. But it's called Go Pro: How to Become a Network Marketing Professional by Eric Worre. And as soon as I know where it's out or where you can get it, I'll certainly get out the information. But again, it's just about 140 pages, and it just takes you through some of the absolute basics to this industry, and you could get through this one in about 2 weeks. So I like to add on my first 30 days, get your 16 customers, hit consultant, and read those 2 books in your first 30 days, and you will be set up for, you know, a really good track in this company. And so those are kind of the commitments that we talk about to commit yourself to if you're looking to turn this into something. And so we're going to go right into the Fast Start track just so you can kind of see what that really looks like. So here you go. Look, if 2 customers in 2 weeks, remember, $50 for just yourself and another meter. How about doubling that and getting 4 customers in 4 weeks? So you're just adding 2 more customers. Well, you get another $75. When you double that and add another 4 customers for a total of 8, in 8 weeks, you get $125. Now, that's not too bad, $250 bonus. But check out these other tracks that we've got here. So the next track is the Surge track, where you could actually earn double. So it's great. Same thing, 2 customers, 2 weeks, $50. Double that to 4 weeks, you get $75. Now, how about 16 customers in 8 weeks for $375? That's great. $500 for 16 customers in 8 weeks. But I want to challenge everyone on this phone to go for the Fusion track. Now, don't forget, every single person on this phone starting Monday has an opportunity to earn this. Now, I just did this particular slide for electric. There's a gas one next, but because in Massachusetts and Connecticut, which the majority of my team and who are on this phone are from those 2 markets, we do not have natural gas. So we focus on this electric Fast Start bonus. But I'm going to be running for this. Are you kidding me? $750 for 16 customers in 4 weeks? I'm in, and I want to challenge every single one of us to get out there and do this. It's so attainable. It's really attainable. And just keep in mind that these are for single state associates. If they're in half. The bonuses are all cut in half. So this is for all states associates. Now take a look at natural gas. If you're in a natural gas market and each one of those customers also has a gas meter, well, take a look. You could earn $375 for a total of $1,125. So $1,125 in your first 4 weeks. What a story that you could create. What a story. I mean, it's almost too easy. You know, I mean, really, I get so excited. I can't wait for all the stories of the people earning this, brand new people who have been in the business for years. Corporate is incredible, and they are making it so easy to do this business. And, you know, don't forget, this is something that's now in our comp plan permanently. This is not a promotion. This is the new comp plan. How about mentor bonuses? You know, if you bring in a person to the business and you help them earn that first one, $50 to you, $75 to you, maybe $125. You could earn a total of $250 for helping your associate pick up those 8 customers in 8 weeks. If they go ahead and do the Fusion track, you still get the $250, but, you know, I would recommend that is what everyone tries to steer people to, is that Fusion track with 16 customers in 4 weeks. It's really 4 customers a week, right? I hope I'm doing my math correctly. Not my strong suit, everyone. But I mean, 4 times 4 is 16, so that's 4 customers a week. That's very doable. Um, so now I want to just talk about the consultant rank because we talked about hitting your Fusion track, 16 customers in 4 weeks. And now I want to point you to this new rank. Okay, this is the building block rank in Veridian. This consultant rank builds, all the other ranks, this foundational step. It's like if you were building a big block tower, and you have to make that base really secure so you can keep building up. That's what this consultant rank is. And so if you can really understand this rank and make sure that this is what you're teaching right out of the gates from those first moments that you start chatting with someone, that it's 16 customers and in 4 weeks, and consultant in 4 weeks, this is going to be an incredible start to your business, and that's what you want to duplicate in your organization. You want to do something once and then teach people how to do it, and then they're going to teach people how to do it, and so on and so forth. So it has to be basic. So don't worry about all the other ranks and all the qualifications. I promise you, if you focus on consultant, and focus on duplicating that, helping your other team do that. All it requires is 8 personal customers. Now, according to my math, you should have already gotten 16 customers because you're working on that. Your total organization, which means you and anybody you bring in, needs to have 25 customers. And you have to bring 2 people into the business who are senior associates. A senior associate just means they have 4 customers. Okay? So you have 8 customers, your total group has 25, and you have personally brought in 2 people to the business and helped them at least get their 4 customers. Now, I just want to also let you know that if you hit this consultant in 30 days, there's an extra $100 bonus in that for you, just for hitting consultant in 30, and actually it's 8 weeks you have to hit it, but since I'm making a goal for you to hit it in 30 days, you would get $100. Congratulations, this is a rank advancement bonus. You hit this in the time frame, we're going to give you another $100. You'd get mentor bonuses on those 2 people that you brought in. I mean, there's thousands of dollars in this compensation plan right out of the gate, just for getting 16 customers in 4 weeks and hitting consultant in 4 weeks. It is worth running towards that with all the financial incentives. And again, that's what you want to duplicate in your whole business. So as you can see, it just starts building from there. I'm not going through all the ranks. Again, all of this information is in your back office, in your webinars. If you really want to learn about everything, I'm just trying to focus those brand new associates on the most important things and the most critical things you could do to start your business off quickly, and then make sure that it duplicates so that you're getting the most out of it. So those are some goals and commitments that I wanted to take you through. The next step, so we did step 1 is define your why. Step 2 is your goals and commitments. And step 3 in our system is make a list. And so, again, it's on pages 10 to 13 in your resource kit. So if you want to go in there and check it out if you're doing this along with me, you need to write down your list or type it out, whatever you do. I suggest writing it, to be honest with you. I think something happens when you physically write. It puts them, I'm no neuroscientist, believe me. This is me just kind of guessing, but maybe I could back it up with evidence. But something happens when you physically write something. You're writing it, you're remembering it, it's the way you're writing it on the paper. It just becomes real when you do that. Plus, you're going to be adding to this over and over, and believe me, I tried it on a spreadsheet early on, and I was like, well, now what? Do I keep printing the spreadsheet out every time I add a name? And, it's actually easier just to get yourself a notebook just dedicated to Veridian, spiral notebook, whatever it is, and just make that your list. And so you're going to want to write down a list of all the people that you know. You're going to want to get help with this step from your up team. They're going to want to sit with you because a lot of times we have a memory jogger, and you're going to want to just let somebody read those memory jogger. Who's your aunt? Who's your auto mechanic? Who's your accountant? And just start writing. It's like kind of one of those free flow exercises where you just start writing. I challenge you to get to 100 names. Now, a lot of people say, but I don't think I know 100 people. Well, open your phone, go to your contact list, scroll to the bottom. How many names are on it? When I first did that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have 400 names in here. Those are 400 people I could actually call right now who would know who I was. So don't discount that. Write everybody's name down that you are a Facebook friend with, a real friend. You have to kind of know them. You're not going to probably get in touch with them through Facebook, but maybe you can track down their phone number through Facebook, or, hey, it's been a while, I'd love to chat with you. So just write that, your email addresses, everything you can onto a piece of paper. Your up team will help you prioritize the list. There's an exercise right in the resource kit that talks about, we never judge anyone in this business. I've heard people say, oh, I think that person's too busy. They work full time, they have kids, and well, what if they're tired of being busy? What if they are just so sick and tired of working a 60-hour work week and not getting time to spend with their kids that they're looking for something? You cannot judge someone. We are not in the business of judging who's going to do this business and who's not. We're in the business of showing everybody, educating them on something that exists, and letting them make the decision. And if they make the decision no, then we build a network by saying, well, great, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate this. Is there anyone that you know that you think would be, great at this, or do you know anybody? I promise you could build a whole entire business off of that strategy. Don't try to put your own, oh, this person, they got, burned before in network marketing, and I'm not going to contact them, and, oh, my Aunt Sally, she'd be terrible. Don't do that. You have no idea. You have no idea. And it'll help you prioritize the list. It's going to have you put a star next to people who have been successful in something else. It's going to help you put a star next to people who have a big network. Maybe they're involved in every community, board and PTO and all kinds of different things. Maybe they've been really financially successful in another career. Those are some people you're going to want to put a star next to, and you'll find that there's going to start being 1, 2, 3, 4 star people. You're going to want your up team with you in person or on the phone when you contact those A people. Those are some of your best contacts. Your B list is pretty much the majority of everyone else you know and can think of. And then your C list, we kind of laugh about the C list, but it's your customer list. Now again, this list should be extremely small. I mean, we're talking maybe the brother-in-law that you can't stand, and the thought of working with him would be hideous to you. Don't worry about it. Just get him as a customer. Maybe it's your 90-year-old grandmother who you're pretty sure isn't going to want to do Veridian as a business, but you'd like to get her as a customer. Put it there. Other than that, you really shouldn't have anybody on that list. And everybody uses energy, so you can't judge whether you think they're going to do something or not. Oh, this person, they're into recycling. They'll definitely do this. Again, you have no idea, good or bad. It's going to be most helpful to you to mentally and right now emotionally arm yourself for the fact that the people you think will, won't, and the people you think never will. So you have to get rid of those judgments and prejudgments and approach this professionally as someone who is expanding a business and letting your friends and family know what you're doing. If you opened a restaurant, I would think that your friends and family and people that you know would come and support it. It's just that people don't know what this is, so we have to get them a video or, get them to a meeting to understand it. It's not as easy as, oh, I opened a Starbucks, So that's how you approach this business. It's done professionally, which brings us to the contact and invite step, which is pretty much the step that if you could become an expert at this one step and you do this over and over and over again, you will be successful. You will absolutely be successful. And think about it. I mean, there's all kinds of professional jobs out there, right? I mean, nursing. Maybe you're a contractor. Maybe you're a roofer. Maybe you work in insurance. Maybe you're an accountant. All of these require some pretty major training to be able to do those things. And sometimes it costs a lot of money to go to school for something, a degree. I mean, for crying out loud, a credit class these days is hundreds of dollars. Never mind a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate. I mean, come on. We're talking about learning a basic skill here that could take you an hour to learn, if that, and you practice it over a period of maybe a week or two, and you're now an expert in this step. I mean, to be able to make residual income month after month when someone pays their electric bill for just learning a couple of basic skills. It blows my mind. I mean, really, I spent a lot of money on schooling. I mean, I went to regular school. I got my bachelor's degree. Well, then I went and I took a whole holistic certification. And then, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've spent money on schooling and trainings. And, even used to work at an insurance company. And the minute I started, I had to go through an orientation and a training. And, we all have to do that. But some of us don't make that association with direct selling or network marketing, but it's the same thing. You just have to learn these basic skills and commit to getting better at them. You're not going to be great at first. Nobody is. Nobody's great at first. It just takes time and practice and a commitment to learning it. So you could tell I'm passionate about this step because, again, let's face it, you could tell yourself you're doing a business and you're writing your why all day and you're listing your goals and you're, refining your list and putting it on a spreadsheet and then printing it out and then putting it in a notebook and you're on the calls and you're listening. But if you're not contacting and inviting people, you are not doing this business. You're not. I mean, it's just not possible. This is sort of like sports. You have to be in action to get anywhere with it. You can't do nothing. People aren't going to come to you. People are not going to call you and say, hey, Jenna, this is so-and-so. I heard you were doing this. Like, I'd love to be a part of it. It's not a reality. It's not a reality that you could put a Facebook out to all your friends and they're going to come clamoring and want to know what you're doing or send a mass email out. The skill set required to be successful here is to make a professional invitation to your friends, family, your network, and do the same thing over and over again. And that's where the success comes from. Not one or two people, not 5 people on a list who you think are really, really going to do this. And then when 3 of them say no, you're devastated because there's your whole list. It's a numbers game. You're probably going to have to contact, hundreds of people over the next 3 to 5 years. But again, if you learn it right from the beginning, you will have a very easy time just repeating this step over and over. So again, keep it simple. The goal is to get the appointment. Practice these until you're comfortable. And sometimes we can't practice them unless we're just doing them. But make sure you're working with somebody. You're working with your up team or sponsor so that if 10 people say no to you, your sponsor can say, well, let's go through that. Tell me what you said. And, maybe you could try this. So right here, at this page, we have a great section in our resource kit. I actually happen to have an affinity for a gentleman called Eric Worre. He's a network marketing professional. He's been doing this business for 20 to 30 years, and he has some phenomenal resources. So when it comes to the scripts and a professional invitation, I actually kind of am shifting here to a very, very easy system that Eric Worre came up with. Now, I just want to preface this by saying that everyone who registers and is on this webinar will receive this PDF that I'm going through. I send it out after the webinar's over, usually over the weekend or first thing Monday. I get all the emails and you will all be sent these scripts. So you don't have to feverishly write it down. You don't have to try to take screenshots, and I will email you this PDF, okay? So here it is. These are the basic steps to making a professional invitation. And again, I know that the majority of people who do these businesses, that step is the most, I guess, the most intimidating. Again, you could write your list all day and your why and your goals, and it's like, oh my gosh, look at all these names I have. But, the fear usually comes in, what are people going to think when I say this? Or I don't want my friends making fun of me, or, oh gosh, that's where this comes in. So arming yourself with a professional invitation and being a professional at what you do really gives you the armor to go out into the world and make these professional contact and invitations without feeling like you're bothering someone, stalking someone, someone's going to think you're annoying, all the things. We've all been through this. Believe me, I speak from experience. I mean, it's not easy to do this at first, but with practice, it gets better. So there's 8 steps to a professional invitation, and we're just going to quickly go through these, and then again, you'll get the PDF so you can practice these. But the first step is being in a hurry, which is pretty important psychologically, because you don't want to be the person calling your friend and they're ignoring your call because they know you're going to talk to them for 2 hours and they don't have any time. And, again, it allows you to just be like, oh, hey, hey, Sue, this is Jenna. I'm so glad I caught you. I'm actually running out the door, but I've been meaning to get in touch with you. Right? I mean, as simple as something like that. Like, now isn't the time for this, but I wanted it to get with you quick. So again, be in a hurry. We're going to go through these 8 steps, and there's examples in this PDF. They do a combination of your warm market, which warm market means people you already know, whether it's a friend of a friend of a friend, but you know them somehow. And cold market is people you will meet while living your life. So maybe a salesperson. We all meet people all the time, maybe a business networking group, somebody, at an event of your kids at the school. All these people are, people that you're going to come in contact with. So the first thing is to just be in a hurry, whether you're in person or calling somebody over the phone. And that's a pretty big step. So here they talk about, being in a hurry, and they give you a bunch of examples. Again, if you start every call face-to-face or call with a feeling that you're in a hurry, you'll find that your invitations are shorter and there'll be less questions. People respect people who are busy, and they respect that you respect their time. So when you're respectful of their time and you're only taking 5 minutes on a phone call, wow, that was great. They really were super respectful. Again, let's be respectful here. So here's some examples. I'm not going to go through the examples because you'll all be receiving these. I just want to get to the point that you'll be in a hurry. The next step is complimenting the prospect. This is critical, okay? But it has to be sincere. The whole point to this is not to lie to people, try to sell them on something. Come on, we know this. Now, people are pretty keyed in, right? I mean, if you go to your buddy who is like all about money, he's been like a shark in the business world, he has just like done amazingly, and you come to him and you say, Steve, you have just been the most kind-hearted and loving. I know how much Steve's probably going to see right through you. Like, what is this guy talking about? If you're like, Steve, listen, you've been super successful in other stuff, and I know how much you love that, so you have to be sincere with the compliment, or else it doesn't work. It opens the door to real communication, and it tells the prospect or the person why you're kind of calling them, So again, maybe and they give you a million examples here. You've been so supportive of me. I use that a lot with my good friends in the beginning. Listen, Sabrina, you have been so supportive to me throughout our entire friendship, and I've really always just respected you and valued your opinion. Okay? I mean, you get the idea. They give you a bunch of them for your warm market, and then cold market would be, let's say you're in a store and, you're walking through the mall and you get this amazing salesperson who sells you the latest, greatest cell phone, and you weren't even shopping for a cell phone. You may say, wow, listen, I'm in a hurry, but wow, that was some of the best service I have ever, I wasn't even looking for a cell phone and I bought one from you. Okay, this can work too, but again, it has to be sincere. So you'll get really good at these, and at some point, you won't even need to look at this or even think about this. It'll just become a natural sentence to you of how to make these invitations. So be in a hurry, compliment, make the invitation. Okay, this is the meat and potatoes of it, right? This is where most of us get a little nervous, like, oh gosh. But again, I want to bring this to you in a professional way. Okay? Hey, Sue, I'm in a hurry. I'm just going to set up a scenario that I could use so that you guys will follow me here. I am going to use an example of, let's say, Sue. I used to work for Sue at a kite company. I actually did work at a kite company. It was stunt kites, but anyway, I know it sounds random, but I did when I was younger. And I had a boss. Her name wasn't Sue, but let's say she was great. I mean, her and her husband ran the business. They had a factory. They were known worldwide for their kites. She also just had a big heart, okay? So let's say I was calling Sue. Now, I haven't seen her in 8 years, 10 years maybe. So, Sue, it's Jenna. Oh, my gosh, it's been so long. I'm actually kind of in a hurry right now, but I'm really glad I got in touch with you. Sue, when I worked for you, you had such a great business savvy. I mean, I just respected the way that you ran your business and how successful it was and how you treated all the employees, and I know how much you cared about us all. And so, I really think that I would really love to show you something. I've launched a new business, and I would just love for you to take a look at it. There's the first 3 steps, right? Really simple, okay? They give you a lot of different options here for what you can say. When you told me you were thinking about changing careers, were you serious about that? Because I think I found a way for maybe that problem to get fixed. I know Matt Noyes, he's a director. on our Connecticut team. I just actually had a meeting he ran and his team at Hawks Landing in Southington. And, you know, he approaches people. His son wrestles, and a lot of times he hears the parents talking about college and worrying about this, and he'll say, you know, when I heard you, you know, worry about the kids going through college, I mean, were you serious about that or just kidding? And most of them will say, no, we're worried about saving money for college. Well, you know what? I actually think I might have something that could help you. So pick what one works for you on these ones as well. There's so many of them. I love the expanding one. There's one in here that talks about, you know, I'm going to be expanding a new business in this area. How great, like for Western Massachusetts and stuff, that's just an amazing thing. You know, I've teamed up with a company that's expanding in the Western Mass area, in the Maryland area, in the New Jersey area. I found something exciting, and you're one of the first people that I thought of because of, you know, who you are. When I thought of quality people that I would love to work with, I thought of you. Would you be open to hearing what I'm doing? So there's all these different ways to do it. And then for a cold market, do you keep your options open? You know, maybe a salesperson gave you great service. Just do you keep your options open? I know Dana Fusco, he's another director here in Connecticut that is wonderful at cold market prospecting. If he gets good service, if he meets a person and he likes who they are, he'll always say, do you keep your career options open? I mean, that's not a you know, terrible thing to say to somebody. So take a look at all these that they give you direct, indirect. I'm not a huge fan of the indirect scripts, just personally. You know, sometimes I think it's like I started a new business and I'm scared to death. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone. I don't know. I mean, you could use that if you want. I like just being direct and being professional. I don't like really indirectly beating around the bush, you know. And so now we're just going to, they give you tons of them. So now I'm just going to skip down to the next step, which is, and sorry if I'm scrolling fast, but again, you'll get these. Step 4. Okay, so now you've been in a hurry, you've complimented them, you told them kind of why you were calling, and now this is the step that you're going to ask them to do something, okay? If I gave you a link to an 18-minute video, would you watch it? If I stopped by your office to show you a couple minutes of a video, would you watch it? If I stopped by with a DVD to drop off, would you watch it? If I picked you up on Tuesday night, would you come with me to a meeting? I suggest starting off initially with a tool that we have, whether it's the 3.5-minute video, the 18-minute video. Start using something that we have. You know, sometimes it takes a lot for someone to carve out a whole night to go to a live meeting. Sometimes a live meeting is best as a second step once somebody has seen the video and they're like, oh yeah, you know, that is cool and I want to learn more. Then you invite again. And just know you're going to be doing these invitations over and over and over again because a lot of people aren't going to sign up on the first time, but we're just focusing on how to get someone to commit to something. So again, if you've done this properly, the first 3 steps, somebody should say yes, you know, and a lot of times just know that they're going to say, yeah, but just tell me what it's about. Now, first of all, you can say, listen, I kind of told you I was in a hurry, so I do have to go, but just everything you're going to want to know is in that link, or you're going to learn everything you need to know when I stop by on Tuesday at the office. If they say no at this part, if I sent you a link for an 18-minute video and they say no, say thank you so much. You know, I thank you for your time and no problem. And then it says review steps 1 through 3 to see what you could have done better. But don't give them, if they say that they're not going to take a look at it, don't give it to them. This is a commitment from them. You know, so the next step is, so a lot of people think that's it. They said, yes, I'll watch the video, right? Great. I'm done. No, you're not done. Only 5% of people, and I might screw up this percentage, it says it. I always give a disclaimer with numbers. I'm so sorry. I told you my brain can't remember everything. But somebody saying yes once, there's something like a 5 to 10% chance they'll actually follow through with it. So that you're not really getting a commitment from somebody if you say, hey, if I sent you a link, or hey, if I stopped by your office and, you know, would you sit with me for 20 minutes while I showed you something? You know, they're going to say yes, but, you know, people say yes all the time when they don't mean it. They just want to get you off the phone, you know. So to make a professional invitation, you're going to want to say, right after they say yes, you're going to say, when do you think you could watch that DVD? Or, hey, when is the best time for me to stop by your office? Or, when do you think you can read that brochure or magazine? For sure. Okay? Don't suggest a time. Just ask them the question and let them tell you. If it's not definitive, like if they're saying, oh, I'll try to get to it sometime, it's easy. Listen, I'm not here to waste your time or mine. Let's just try to lock down a time and when you could definitely take a look at it. It's only 20 minutes. It's only, you have to get them to say yes a second time. Remember, saying yes to step 4, you didn't actually get a commitment. Now watch how beautiful this is. So I called Sue. Sue, it's Jenna. You already heard me say how wonderful she is. Da da da. Listen, I'd like to stop by your office and show you, about an 18-minute video. When do you think we could do that? So she says, yeah, we could do that. And I'll say, great. When do you think we could do that for sure? Oh, geez, Friday would be great. Excellent. Okay. So now that's, the second time. Now she's giving you a time. What if they say, oh, geez, I can't watch it till May 15th. I can't, I know any time till May 15th, right? And you're like, okay. Great. So if I called you May 16th, you definitely would have watched that, right? Or, so if I stop by your office on Friday, you'll definitely be there, right? This is the confirm step, and this is, now they've said yes 3 times that they'll follow through with it, and they've done it all by themselves. This is where you've actually set a real appointment. So if you call your friend and you go through all the first couple of steps and you say, geez, so you definitely could have, so when do you think you could watch that video for sure? And they say, oh, I could do it Thursday. Great. So if I called you Thursday night, you definitely would have watched it, right? Yeah, definitely. Oh, fantastic. So, then you just move to the step 7. Get a time and a number, right? So this is the statistic. So now that they've said yes 4 times, the chances that they'll actually follow through, whether it's keep the commitment to meet with you, whether it's, watch the link that you're going to send them, has been increased from less than 10% to over 80% that they're going to follow through with that. Imagine if 80% of the people you invited to meetings or to watch the video or to meet with in person actually did it. That's incredible. So we're just increasing our odds that people are going to do it. And then the most important thing, get off the phone. Don't be the person that stands there and talks to them. Or if you met someone in person, this works in person too. You run into your friend at the store that you haven't seen in forever. Oh my gosh, Sue, I can't believe it. I haven't seen you in years, but gosh, I was actually going to get in touch with you. I'm heading out now. I got to run to my next appointment. And you go through the same thing. You could do all of this in person. And right at the end, great, Sue, it's been so great seeing you. I got to run. Okay? These are 8 steps. That's it. And what I love about this particular document is it starts giving you examples. Okay? With it already filled in. Okay? It's real easy to follow this PDF. But by far, my favorite part of this whole entire system is right here because it gives you blank sheets. You fill in your prospect's name. You fill in their contact info, which in a hurry script you're using, which complement you're using based on who they are. I mean, your goal in your first month should be to complete at least 50 to 100 of these until you're comfortable doing it without them, and pick up the phone and call them. I mean, that is your training right here. Here it is. So I just kind of wanted you, again, you all get these scripts, but I just wanted to take you through those because, I think it's pretty important to really understand kind of that step. It's the most critical step. It's the step that you do when you first start, and it's the step that you do 3 and 4 and 5 years into it. It never changes. So when you can get real good at that step, your life becomes easier. You become less stressed and emotional about making these calls and making these invitations because you're being a professional. You're not worried about it, and you're just going to keep doing that. So the next step, the next step is to show the program. We talked about that while we talked about that. So while we talked about that last step. So if you make that appointment, the contact and invite is to get you to an appointment, right? Or to get them to see a video or whatever it is. When you get to the appointment or when you're on the phone with somebody, use what we have. Don't talk to them. Don't try to explain it. If you are the expert, I wish I could telepathically put some of my experiences in your brains. I know it sounds a little weird. Bear with me, because I screwed this up so badly in the beginning. Now, I was the first associate. I had an incredible story. I sat down with Michael. I had lunch with him for 2 hours. I mean, this whole thing, it's like, wow, this is an incredible story. I can sign people up. I could recruit people into this business like no problem. And I did that. Okay. What I quickly realized is I was the expert. I answered everybody's question. I told them about the entire business. I did it all. And what I was finding is that they got into my business, but nobody else could do what I was doing. They weren't the first associate. They didn't know all this stuff. They were only in their first 1 or 2 days. They're looking at me going, how am I supposed to do this business? They couldn't do what I did. So then, a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend knew 2 people called Joe and Frank. Now these guys came along, and what they did is they pressed play to show this video to their network. Okay? So everybody that joined their network went, so I just pressed play to my friends and family, right? Right. Okay, they're ambassadors in the company, and I'm a platinum partner. And I've learned a lot from them and from the other top leaders, but this is truly a lesson that I had to learn. I don't talk to people anymore about all this stuff. I tell a little bit about who I am and my story, just about, this business has just changed my life. I'm so excited about it. And I close my mouth and press play. That's the only way to build this business, or else you're going to have a very difficult time. You might be able to sign up people. You may be able to sign up 20 people frontline to yourself. I know people who have signed up 10 to 15 people frontline to themselves, and those people have never really done anything because the way that person signed them up can't duplicate. They're amazing with people. They have this, charisma that just they're the guy. They're just that person that everybody wants to. Well, what about the person that signs up that doesn't have that skill? What if they're a little quieter? What if they should be able to do this business too. So just keep that in mind, and schedule a follow-up. Always, never leave an appointment without scheduling the next appointment. Whether that's, hey, here's the thing. You're going to have to research this a little bit. We don't have tons of information on this in the resource kit, but there's a real professional way to follow up. And if you're getting your up team on the phone after these appointments, you're going to hear them do something like this. Gosh, I heard you just watched our 18-minute video. What did you like best about it? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you're not interested at all, and 10, you're ready to get started in this business. Where do you think you fall on that scale? Is this something you're ready to get started? Your up team's going to help you with that until you get comfortable, and you're going to be doing this with your down team. People don't always sign up on the first time. So you might have to invite them, let me stop by your office next week and I'll drop off that sustainability report to you. Or, we actually have a meeting in this area on Tuesdays. You kind of took a look at this. I'd love for you to come with me and meet some like-minded people who have been doing this for a while. Just know that you may have to expose someone 3, 4, 5 times to this business in different ways. But just keep being professional. Keep getting them in front of a tool or your up team, and you're going to just do fantastic. And then let your tools talk. This is what we've been talking about, because we have a million of them. We have websites, we have videos, we have sustainability reports up here. We have green energy observers that are amazing tools to let somebody read through. We have our website that we could send them to. We have all kinds of materials that they could review, and always have them with you. Always carry these things in your trunk so that wherever you are, if it pops up and comes into conversation, you're going to have something like that. I have a lot of people on my team who really found success because they ran into somebody out and about that they knew, and they had something on them. So, that's great advice. And then follow up. This is what we've talked about. Let your up team do this at first. Obviously when you're making those initial calls and you're setting up these appointments, you're going to want to get your up team in person with you or on the phone with you to help you ask for that decision at the end of it. Here are some great ones. Do you think you'd be good at this? Are you ready to take the next step? How soon do you want to get started? Would you like to know what the next step is? And again, schedule your next appointment before you leave. Schedule that next exposure before you walk out that door or get off that phone. Consult your coach. I think we've talked about this a lot, but if you're not coachable in this industry, I've met a lot of people who have been really successful in other things, right? Even other network marketing companies. No one's an expert at this. We are all constantly learning from each other. We're constantly reading books. You'll find that some of the people in this industry that make the most money are almost addicted to learning. We're always looking to learn from somebody or a book or a new CD we read, or go to the next, conference and learn something. And so you need to really have a coach that's going to work with you, who's invested in you, who has a financial interest in you, and also somebody you connect with. So again, if that's not the person that brought you in, that's okay. Everyone, we all get into this business for different reasons. We all have different relationships with the person that brought us in. If that's not the person who you feel a connection to, or they're brand new, maybe you guys started on the same day, start going through your up team. You could do it in the back office. There's a way to do it. Ask the person that brought you in, or find some director above in your team. That's the first question you're going to want to ask. Who is my closest up team director? Chances are whoever's closest to you as a director is invested in this business. They've built a great team up, and they know these things. So start with the closest up team director. If you don't have a sponsor, somebody that brought you in the business that you connect with, or that maybe they're brand new. And just, know that you're not going to know everything. If you are the kind of person that needs to be right about everything, that's probably going to be an obstacle you're going to have to move through, because you're going to be wrong, you're going to screw up, you're not going to have the answer for things, and that's okay. That's almost even better in this business. Just be open, be coachable, plug into the system we use. I know so many people who are like, well, I've been in another company and I actually know how to do this better, or you know what, I'm not going to use this duplicate system, I'm going to just do trade shows. I'm going to just get a booth at every single trade. There's a lot of other ways to do this that may work, but you're going to have a job, a J-O-B again. The key to this whole industry is we want to get paid month after month, not just on our efforts, but the efforts of others. To do that, you need to be open and coachable to the process that we use, so that all your team has the same access. I try to everyone. I mean, you can't imagine the training system I used to come up with and email a PDF out to my team. And then, I'd say, when you sign up, someone send this welcome email to your teammate. And do you know how long that lasted? Have you ever heard of the game Operator? Do you know that by one or two people below you, the information is absolutely screwed up and wrong no matter what you do? Do you know how much better it is to just use the system in place that corporate has, that everybody has access to? So I can say, well, your resource kit should be in the mail, or here's your resource kit, and everyone has the same information. Or, I've already gone over that. The calendar of events is in your back off. I mean, you need to do that. And so I don't say this out of a need to be right. I say this out of experience. I say this out of blood, sweat, and tears of the first, year and a half to 2 years when we didn't have this. And I say it with a lot of passion, because I know what it's done for my life. And your need to be right is not worth sacrificing your dreams and goals. So just remember that. Just remember that. There's somebody in this company you can connect to too. And then the last in my book is duplicate. And, to duplicate, it's all those steps that we learned, but it's also understanding that to be great at this business, you have to promote. Promoting events is another way to leverage your time. So, I used to do this. It's a great example, because I like to use examples. So I would go on an incredible conference call, right? And I would be like so fired up, and I'd be like, and then I would email my team everything that was on the conference call. Or I would do a conference call for my team to tell them what happened on it. Why am I doing that? Why aren't I just promoting that call to my team? Because I'm going to screw something up. I'm going to change one word or a sentence that's going to change the meaning, or I'm going to write an email, and it's going to, I can't tell you what a game changer it was when I just started promoting events to my team. And if they're not on it, I'm not really going to spend any time going over it with them, because there's playbacks. They can listen to it. They can watch it. They should have been there. I don't literally have the time or the desire to kind of, reiterate everything that was already said when that person could have done the same thing I did. And that's a huge, huge game changer. So instead of wasting all my time catching people up on the things they should have been doing themselves, I went to everything. I got excited about it. I brought people with me. I told my teammates and my friends and my family about different events and said, let's go together. Let's take let's caravan down. Let's get a hotel together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this. It worked. It absolutely worked. And I'm going to just read you a little phrase. We're kind of coming to a close here. I'm going to get you guys out a bit early so you can enjoy this beautiful Saturday. I know it's going to be in the 50s here, which is a little taste of spring. But this is directly out of Eric Worre's book, GoPro, How to Become a Network Marketing Professional. And he's talking about his first year or two, and he didn't really have a big team. He just kind of, had a couple of people, and he actually ended up standing next to one of the top income earners. Okay, so he found himself in the hallway, and it was almost like standing next to a celebrity, He achieved the rank that this guy wanted to achieve, and so he actually stood there trying to think of something to say, and finally Eric went, "Hi, I'm Eric. What's the secret?" And he said, "Today, no, there isn't a secret," and he could have said the same thing, but he had a little compassion, and he gave me an important lesson that serves me to this day. He said, "Eric, do you see this room? It holds about 2,000 people. We have these events 3 times a year. Here's the secret. At the next event, half of these people won't come back, but the other half that do will be making about twice the average of everyone else in the room. Your job is to be one of the 1,000 people that come back." And it doesn't stop there. At the next event, half of those 1,000 won't come back, but the 500 who do will be making 4 times the amount of the average in the room. This continues from event to event. If you continue to come back and bring your team with you year after year and month after month, you'll end up being among the highest paid people in the room. Okay, so that's my spiel on promoting events. It's pretty clear. This business is done event to event. So with that being said, these are all on the corporate calendar, but I'm going to be in Thomaston on April 23rd. We have a cross-team meeting with Johnny LaPresto is going to be there as a special guest. I'm in Massachusetts every Thursday doing the Western Mass launch with Brendan Kenny and Terry Walker. I'll be visiting Ken Olson in Foxborough on April 17th, and I'm going to be helping a team of amazing people in Connecticut launch a meeting. They're launching it in April in East Hartford on April 29th. And so go to the back office if you have contacts in those states, and obviously Power Up in Washington, D.C. It's the most unbelievable event of the entire year. You really can't miss it. That's the one that Eric Worre is referring to. If there's 2,000 people at Power Up, next year, only 1,000 of those people will be the same. Another 1,000 will be new. Your job is to be one of the 1,000 that comes back in 2014. And then in 2015, you're going to be, and so on and so forth. So, do the same thing. I just want to thank everybody. I think that is it. Oh, customers, I just wanted to show you guys this because that's an important part of our business. You might want to write this down. Marie Jandro, a senior director in my business, recorded a customer acquisition call that goes through her and Donna French, Senior Director, and Donna French, Executive Director for Massachusetts, just hit ED this week, recorded this amazing call to help you with getting customers, which is some of their tips. Just use the tools we have. Don't tell people about it. Use a 3.5-minute video. And in the back office, there is this guide called the Success Guide for Customer Acquisition. So use the tools we have. Between the 3.5-minute video, this PDF in your back office, and this phone call, you will be on the road to getting customers. And again, have your up team come with you or be on the phone with you the first few times you get customers. You have to learn by doing. So there's, this section, we don't need to go over it because it's in your resource kit, but there's 5 core beliefs that you really want to work on because, again, your belief systems show through. If you don't really believe in network marketing and you kind of still think it's weird and sort of a scam, I guarantee you that everyone you talk to will also think the same thing because you're going to be attracting those people. So you're going to have to do some work on your belief systems depending on where they are. And in the back of your resource kit, the whole last part of it is going through the 5 core beliefs and giving you some tips, some resources to read on how to really study those. And I'll just fly through them. But the first one is industry, which is direct selling. So again, if you feel awkward about telling someone proudly that you're in direct selling or you're a network marketer, you need to work on this belief system over time. Going to events will help. Talking to leaders in the company will help. Reading books will help. The company, as you go through and you start to be in your first 3 months and 6 months, you'll start to learn all about our company, the global vision, all the sustainability initiatives. This comes with time. Don't think you're not going to be doing this in your first 30 days. These are belief systems you build over time. The higher your belief system, the higher your paycheck will be, because this is a business where we attract people into it. And so if your belief systems are steady and solid, then you're not worried when someone says, oh, this is a scam, or hey, did you hear that Veridian, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to faze you because your belief system is in order. Our product, green energy, our rates, that's our products is another belief system. You have to believe in our products. You have to believe in the team, whether it's your team, your up team, the corporate leadership team. It's an important part of this whole industry. And the most important thing is yourself, because, we're all in this together. We lead by example. But when it comes down to it, everyone, we all have the same compensation plan. Nobody has a different, I'm not paid as a different, I don't have a different set of rules than you do. We all have the same company and products. We all have the same company and products. We all have the same rates. I don't get a special rate because I'm a platinum partner. I don't get to offer my customers 6.9 or something. The only difference in this business is yourself. We are the only variable. So it is solely and completely up to you what you do with this. You can never blame it on your up team or your down team. It's not them, it's you. Always, always, always. And so when you take responsibility for that and you give it your honest effort over the course of 3 to 5 years, you can turn this into something extraordinary. I really believe it. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people I know and love. Best friends, family members, people I've met through Veridian. And so with that, I want to wish everyone an awesome, awesome Easter. I want to say happy spring, and we all have the chance to reinvent our businesses starting April 1st. Whether you've been in it for 2 years or whether you started yesterday, we all get the chance to take part in this new sustainable compensation plan starting April 1st. So do some thinking over the weekend, write some names down, and get ready to put this into action. And take a look for that email later, either later today or tomorrow. I will get that out with a follow-up with the Eric Worre script. So I thank you for your time, and I wish you all the success that you deserve. Have a great day, everyone.